Good late afternoon and thank you for joining us. Sage here and you're watching 𝐊𝐿𝐴𝐼𝐼 TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, the last trade, and there's no better way to wind down the day than with today's market close commentary, so let's dive straight in. The Australian shares closed higher on Monday, snapping a 5-session losing streak, led by buying across tech, realty and the consumer discretionary space. The market sentiment was lifted by firm cues from Wall Street, which rose sharply on Friday amid warnings or waning fears of rollbacks of the monetary stimulus by the US Federal Reserve. And meanwhile, the coronavirus concerns showed no sign of abating as 818 new COVID-19 infections were recorded in New South Wales on Monday. And the ASX 200 closed 26.40 points or 0.35% higher. And earlier today, the index opened higher and gained as much as 0.5% to hit an intraday high. Among the individual stocks, mining firm Pilbara Minerals was the top gainer, rising 10.4%, and some of the other top performers were tech firm Appen, real estate firm Charter Hall and aerial imagery firm Nearmap. Meanwhile, the health insurance company NIB Holdings topped the losing chart with 11% losses. And next up, let's see how the sectoral indices performed today. The equity market witnessed a surge in buying activity as 8 of 11 sectoral indices ended higher. The information technology sector emerged as a top performer with 1.7% gains, tracking gains in the US counterpart Nasdaq Composite. It was followed by the A-REITs, consumer discretionaries, materials, financials, utilities and the healthcare stocks, which settled with modest gains. And meanwhile, the consumer staples sector emerged as the worst performer, falling 0.5%. Energy and industrial sectors also ended with marginal losses. In the tech sector, most of the stocks ended in the green zone. Buy now, pay later giant Afterpay, aerial mapping firm Nearmap, tech firm Appen and the network operator Megaport were among the top gainers. In the materials space, the index heavyweight BHP Group, Pilbara Minerals, Newcrest Mining, South 32, BlueScope Steel and Oz Minerals were among the top gainers. In the banking sector, 3 of the big 4 lenders, Westpac, ANZ Bank and Commonwealth Bank closed higher. Meanwhile, the NAB ended lower. And now, before we look at the shares that are in the news today, it's time for a short break. Property by 𝐊𝐿𝐴𝐼𝐼. Looking for a dream home? Well, that may sound easy, but it isn't. And from looking for a property that is the right fit for you in terms of cost and other factors, to zeroing down on the right mortgage plan, there are various aspects to consider. And for the latest slowdown in the property market, tune in on 𝐊𝐴𝐼𝐼 TV with me, Sage. I will give the latest updates on the property market as well as real estate stocks to help you make the right decision. Keep watching Property with 𝐊𝐴𝐼𝐼. Hello, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. And this is 𝐊𝐴𝐼𝐼 TV. You're watching the last show of the day, the last trade, and I'm Sage. So, moving on now, let us focus on the shares that hogged the limelight today. Star Pharma shares rose 6.5% up to $1.30 Australian. And this was following an ASX update. The company has published new data that demonstrated the protective efficacy of the Viraleze antiviral nasal spray against the SARS-CoV-2 challenge in vivo in a humanised mouse model of coronavirus. The study results have been published in the international peer-reviewed journal and Viruses in a special issue titled Medical Interventions for Treatment and Prevention of COVID-19 Infections. The share price of the ASX-listed resources firm Terracom dropped over 3%. The company announced that the life of the Blair Athol mine has been extended to approximately 10 years, and the company holds a considerable portfolio of operating assets in Australia and South Africa. The extension of the Blair Athol Mine Lifeline will provide 14 years of operation under Terracom. Also making the news, shares of mining equipment design and manufacturer Austin Engineering rose over 5% to 23 Australian cents on completing global debt refinance. The company has inked a new global financing arrangement with HSBC Bank Australia, which helped the company replace a working capital facility with Export Finance Australia and local Chilean debt facilities. The new facilities have improved both the size and the growing debt capacity from 25 million Australian dollars up to 35 million Australian dollars. Australian petroleum company Ampol declined as much as 6.4% to $25.76 Australian on bids to acquire New Zealand's Z Energy. And the energy firm has proposed a $2.5 billion Australian dollar takeover offer to create the biggest fuel retail company across the Tasman. The bid price represents a 35% premium to last close on 26 July 2021 and a day prior to the first press speculation in relation to corporate activity involving Z Energy. Also worth the look, telecommunication service provider Chorus fell as much as 5%, down to $6.78 Australian as its earnings failed to impress investors. The company's net profit after tax dropped to 47 million New Zealand dollars during the 2021 financial year from 52 million New Zealand dollars in the last fiscal. Despite a rise in the active fibre connections during the year, operating revenue dipped to 947 million New Zealand dollars compared to 959 million New Zealand dollars, while the EBITDA rose slightly to 649 million New Zealand dollars during the year. And this was up from 648 million New Zealand dollars in the 2020 financial year. Next on the newsmakers, the share price of Reliance Worldwide dropped 2.5% to $5.79 Australian, pairing the earlier gains over 3% post announcing its earnings report. The net profit after tax rose 63%, while the net sales were up 15%. The company's strong earnings was attributed to a strong performance across its markets, with robust residential construction and remodelling activity in Australia supporting the Asia-Pacific sales boost. It has also declared a final dividend of 7 cents a share, highest ever by the company. And shares of Lynas Rare Earths declined as much as 7% to $4.49 Australian after the company issued an update on its Malaysia plant operations. The mining and exploration company said that its Malaysia plant is continuing to operate at reduced rates as a third wave of the COVID-19 persists in the country. And the company stated that the Malaysian regulator has extended the deadline for satisfaction of the licence condition related to the commencement of construction of the permanent disposal facility for water leach purification residue by 6 months to March 2nd, 2022. This is, of course, in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the company is set to announce its full year results on the morning of 27th August 2021. And now, before we look at more of the shares that are in the news today, it's time for another short break. Hi, I'm Sage, and get ready to take the crypto ride with me on 𝐊𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐞 TV. Watch the Crypto Buzz every Tuesday and join the excitement at 𝐊𝐿𝐴 TV. From Bitcoins to NFTs to Dogecoin and DeFi, we have updates about everything around these digital currencies. Understand the investing rationale and the risks involved in the space with me, Sage, on Crypto Buzz. Keep watching 𝐊𝐿𝐴 TV. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Sage here, and you're watching 𝐊𝐴 TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, the last trade. And shares of IGO made the news, gaining nearly 5% to reach $9.24 Australian after it produced its first lithium hydroxide chemical product at the Kwinana Lithium Hydroxide Refinery joint venture. The mining and exploration company said it would now focus on operating its first production train, Train 1, while also progressively improving product quality to a battery-grade product for qualification by its offtake customers. It is expected that saleable product will be produced in the December 2021 quarter, and that battery-grade product for accreditation by customers will be produced in the March 2022 quarter. Metals and electronics recycling company sim saw its shares jump over 5% after it announced on market share buybacks. The company will commence buybacks of up to 150 million Australian dollars worth of shares, in addition to the dividend payment announced with the company's financial year 21 financial results on 17th August 2021. As per the company, the number and timing of shares purchased will depend on the company's share price and market conditions. Shares of Charter Hall gained 6.1%, reaching $18.31 Australian after its earnings grew in the 2021 financial year, driven by strong growth in its property portfolio. And the real estate firm's revenue rose 20.6%, while net profit soared 37.8%. The company's property investment portfolio increased 18.7% during the year and generated total property investment returns of 15%. And also making the news, engineering company Worley's shares rose 0.8% to $11.05 Australian after it secured a contract. The company has bagged a contract for its Chevron's Jansz low compression project, which includes provisions of engineering and construction management services. And under the contract, Worley will provide detailed engineering, design and construction management services for the JIC project's power transmission and communication components. So now in the next segment, we'll take a look east towards the Asian markets performance. And the Asian markets were trading higher on Monday, snapping last week's sharp fall ahead of the key updates on the US monetary policy. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell will deliver a speech at Jackson Hole this week, which is expected to bring more clarity on reduction of monetary stimulus. The US Fed officials in its last meeting proposed to start slowing asset purchases this year. And Taiwan's weighted stock index gained the most by rising 2.6%, followed by Japan's Nikkei, which gained 1.9%. Hang Seng, the benchmark index of Hong Kong, rallied 1.8%, while South Korea's Kospi traded 1.5% higher. In a similar trend, Jakarta's stock exchange in Indonesia climbed 0.9%, while China's Shanghai Composite rose 1%, and India's BSE Sensex traded 0.2% higher in the opening deals as well. Let's move on now from Asia over to the US, and Wall Street ended higher over the weekend on waning concerns over the US Federal Reserve's tapering plans amid resurgence of the Delta variant. The rise in the coronavirus Delta cases appears to have dampened the near-term economic outlook, delaying the Federal Reserve's plans to start shifting the monetary policy back to normal. The Dow Jones ended 0.65% higher on Friday, while the S&P 500 rose 0.8%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite rallied 1.2%. And now, before we take a look at the cryptocurrency updates, it's time for another short break.
Has your week hit you for six? Barely had time to breathe, let alone throw a flick past? Well, don't worry, 𝐊𝐿𝐴 has all your sporting action covered. Each episode, I'll bring you the biggest sports news of the week. Exclusive interviews with athletes, sports commentators and journalists. Plus, we'll also look at the finances off the field from new broadcast deals, sports commercial partnerships and more with sports business. So for a sports show that tackles all the big issues, ball and all, join me, James Preston, for Game On every Friday, exclusive to 𝐊𝐴 TV.
Welcome back, Sage here. You're watching 𝐊𝐴 TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, the last trade. And in the last segment of this show, let's take a quick look over the crypto market's performance. And the cryptocurrency market was trading higher during the Asian trading hours on Monday, with major coins Bitcoin surging over the $50,000 level. The other tokens, such as Ether and Cardano, also rose amid optimism about the growing demand from institutional investors. Adding to it, investors were also buoyed by the American payment solution company PayPal's decision to extend its crypto service to the UK. The company has decided to roll its crypto offerings outside the US, allowing its users to buy, sell and hold 4 different cryptocurrencies on its platform. The company's UK customers will be able to transact in Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash. The process will begin this week and should be available to all eligible customers within the next few weeks. And sharing the news, the price of Bitcoin, the world's largest crypto, by market capitalization rose 2.5% to trade around the US $50,000 300 level, and Ether, the world's second largest crypto, also rose 3% to around the $3,400 mark amid surges in volumes of traders. The price of Cardano also has caught the attention of the investors. The third largest virtual currency in the world jumped over 10%, up to $2.78 US. Among others, Dogecoin, Stellar, Uniswap and Litecoin also witnessed surges in buying activity. Thanks for joining us on that report. That's all for now in the last trade. With our existing operations in Australia, New Zealand, UK and Canada, 𝐾ALKINE Media has launched its operations in the US markets, and every day in our first show, the Global Market Roundup, you can get the latest and important news of the US, Europe and the Asia Pacific markets. So on that note, we shall see you as close as possible to 9 a.m. tomorrow live from Sydney. Sage signing off.